Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today we're going to go ahead and look at how this stock has ended up where it is right now. Now I know the stock market is closed for trading, and these are all after hours because they only normally trade through Mondays through Friday. This is a Saturday, 8 p.m. my time. This is March 11th, 2023, and today we're going to go ahead and go about why I am treating the stock market like a video game. Now, I have to admit, throughout all my years, I've played video games almost most of my life and spent many hours doing it. And why would I treat the stock market like a video game? Well, if there's anything that I've learned from video games is I've learned that trial and error and losing a lot and persistence eventually does pay off. And the main reason why I'm saying to treat the stock market like a video game in a sense is it exactly is that. The game only ends when you stop playing. So if I were to come over here and I were to decide to sell everything off, that's when the game stops ending. Now, if you actually look at your mindset here and you come over here in a week and you can see that everything's declining and going down even further and further and further, and then if you go over here and you look at your month, and you can see right here that it's even gone down huge percentages, huge losses. And I've only been doing $1 a day. You can see right here I started in January 6th is when I started my investment journey. It started going up. You started feeling this euphoria. It's like, oh, I'm doing great, just like any other video game. You come in and you start going, you start doing good, you start going and going, all of a sudden you reach your first boss, bam, kicks you in the butt. And then you really have to think about yourself and be like, oh, am I going to stick with this? Am I really going to? It's kind of you're dueling with your own wits here. And if you stick with it, or if you decide to be a day trader, because there's several different kind of people that you can invest and trade in the stock market, which are day traders. Day traders will go ahead and they may not be able to handle it. They may sell everything off at this point, and then, well, you've only ended up you got a little bit of gains, but the gains that you got, you actually lost. And the main reason you lost is because you forgot the other part of the game, the more complicated part of the game. Now you're talking about epic level, game level, or instead of level 0, you're at level 5. And level 5 is, well, you got to pay Uncle Sam. You got to go and pay taxes on everything that you gained. You won't feel that pressure now, but you can totally feel that pressure once tax time comes rolling around next year. Because you still have to pay your taxes on it, because when you submitted your account and started trading with whatever trading platform you decide to use, whether it's Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, or any of those other ones, Webull, any of those other platforms, you have to submit your social security number ID to them, and they submit a tax report to them on all of your gains. Now, that aside, if you decide to stay in it and keep going, well, then you can all of a sudden start seeing games. This is where round 2 of the game comes. Okay, I got to the next boss. Bam. Now you got super boss. This boss comes over here, beats you down. Now you really have to level your wits. And then if you really are part of the minority mindset, the people that are thinking very differently, you stick in it all the way. Like, I'm just going to stick in it. Not just stick it in, because I'm doing $1 cost averaging. I'm buying every single one of these days. $1, $1, and not just $1 in one stock. I'm investing $1 in 55 different dividend stocks. And I'm investing $1 in 10 different cryptocurrencies, and I'm also investing $1 a month now in AAVE and comp. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you that this is something that you should do. You should invest your money in. I am purely doing this for purely entertainment and for my own purposes, and to also keep myself, hold myself to it. And like any video game, you sometimes, playing with other people or having other people watch you kind of do a little bit better, or maybe you do worse, but at least maybe other people can give me comments. Go ahead, leave me a comment below. What would you do? Well, at this point, if you were losing money and you absolutely needed the money, would you sell it all off, or would you stick with it, or would you be a part of the minority mindset, be like, this is actually the time to spend more money in it? But I'm looking at this in more further ahead, because you got to see what's going around. This game is not just playing with yourself. You got to figure out what every single one of these companies here are doing, and how they're actually investing, and how they're doing. For example, if you picked a company like CocaCola, which has historically been around for quite some time, and you can see here in the 5 years, if you look at it historically, they started all the way back here in 2018. They were way down here, but even though everything's still going down, they have been increasing significantly, and they've been increasing their dividend yield, and they've been paying out their dividends. Now, their dividend yield may only be 2% or 2.972%, but they are probably going to be a pretty safe bet and a pretty safe company that's going to still be around here, whether or not there's a recession or not, or if everything crashes. Or companies like Amazon. I mean, Amazon has been going up and down, but if you really look at Amazon and all their different products, they have AWS, they have cloud services. They've been around, and I still believe that they're going to be around for a while. Now, I'm not investing in Amazon in the sense I got this for free, and then Tesla is its own controversial. It's kind of almost feels like it's crypto in itself as it goes up and down. But the main thing, the reason why I think a lot of people don't understand about Tesla is they released a 18-wheeler truck hauler this year that's going to be produced and mass produced out. Now, when you think about the amount of power it takes to haul around those big, huge crates all around the U.S., take that same technology and think of what's going on today with the war with Russia and Ukraine and possible wars in the future. Take the same technology and throw it in a tank. Heck, throw it in a jet plane or throw it on a warship or a battleship, right? And you have pure electrical that can totally be used on airplanes, aircraft, battleships. Put solar on them, or who knows what other type of technology that's going to fully come out that's fully electrical, and then all of a sudden you have some pretty interesting technology here. And that's why Tesla is, can be going down and up and down and up. But there's this huge speculation with the CEO of the company. But I'm not going to go more into that for right now. Coca-Cola. I see Coca-Cola still being here in 5-10 years. I don't know about you. You go to any food place, every single gas station stop, Coca-Cola is everywhere. Same thing like Pepsi. If you want to do Coca-Cola and Pepsi, those are pretty solid. I believe pretty solid dividend stocks. Now, Kraft Foods started up, 5 years ago, and they've been going down and up and down and up. Kraft Foods been around for a long time. I'm a big food person, so I pick Kraft Foods because I don't know. I still think Kraft Foods is going to be around for some time. So I don't see that going away anytime soon, but I could be wrong. You could totally be wrong. Cisco phone systems, WebEx, all these different things. They're going to be around here maybe for a while, maybe not. They've been a pretty stable up and down company. You never really know what's going to happen. And then you have these other ones, which is EQR, Equity Residential. These are just a bunch of financial ones. I kind of picked a lot of these different stocks. Maybe listening to other people, listening to myself, but I picked so many different type of dividend stocks, mainly because I wanted to play a game where I didn't have to sit there and wait to see some of the results for the long haul. When I say that, I come over here to my history, and I come over here and I look at my dividends, and you can see right here that I am being paid near almost every single day once it starts rolling. I know I only started January 6th, and so you had to be in at a certain point to actually start getting paid and committed to for them to commit you the dividends. So my February dividends are not so much, but my March dividends I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Almost every single day. Because that was also the interesting part. And I was doing this theory. I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos online, and they were suggesting, well, what if you invested in dividends that paid every single day of every single month? And I was like, whoa, that sounds pretty exciting to me. What would happen? Now, I've only been doing this for 2 months, and yeah, it may look like pennies, but in 2 months, if they're paying me on an average 20 cents in 2 months, so I'm making 20 cents a day every single day after 2 months, and then if I'm going to get an average after 4 months, 40 cents a day, that's a significant increase. And so if you think of it long term, this is going to be paying me and paying me and paying me. Now, part of this video game, in the sense that I'm thinking the stock market like a video game, is the more research you do and the more you think about it and plan ahead, it's going to work for you way better, because dividends act very differently and are taxed very differently than normal taxes. Now, if you don't have any income at all and you're not getting paid, so say for example you go in and you're retiring, maybe you're 65, 67, or maybe even in your 70s, you want to wait all the way to get your full, however when you actually plan to retire, and you're not making any more income from a job, your dividends, if you get paid $80,000 in dividends, which is going to be about $2 million, and I don't ever expect I'm going to have that much, because I'm over here and I'm investing very close to my 40s. I'll be lucky to even have 500,000 in here. Who knows what I'll have? But I'm playing the game, and I'm playing this game with cryptocurrency as well, which has shown actually cryptocurrency is very young. From my research that I've done, they've only been around for like 9-10 years. But if you had invested in Bitcoin 9 years ago, $1 a day, there was this article that I was reading online, you could have had $18 million. Now, who's to say that any one of these other companies wouldn't be the same as Bitcoin in that future? Now, I don't ever see Shinobi, which is not really, it's kind of a useless coin, or Dogecoin being that sense. But if you look at it like this, because this is how I'm looking at it from the math point, Shinobi is 0.00001, right? But if Shinobi were to move this many zeros and be even 1 cent, so let's go 1 cent, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It moves 5 decimal points and becomes 1 cent, which is possible. Maybe not this year, maybe not even next year, but say 5 years from now, it becomes 1 cent, and it moves 5 decimal points. And I currently have near 6,922,314. Now, if it becomes 1 cent, this becomes $60,000. Now, yeah, granted, that's not a lot, but I don't really have that much money in here, in a sense. I have $71 in here. $71 transforming into $60,000, and all I had to do was wait 5 years? That's pretty significant. Now, if I waited longer, let's say, for example, in 10 years' time, it goes to 5 cents. You times 60,000 by 5, because you're going all over by these little points and these little decimals. So there's this huge chance to win if you can let the money sit there long enough. Now, a lot of people are going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm losing and losing, and they're just day traders, and they're coming here. And when I say day traders, a day trader is somebody that buys stocks or buys cryptocurrency and sells it in less than a year. You're no longer an investor at that point. You're a day trader. And the main reason I say you're a day trader is you get taxed like normal income. So whatever tax bracket you land in, right, so you have your normal income and everything, you still get taxed on it. And the same thing applies for when you retire. A lot of people don't think about this. I was talking to a bunch of retired old people, friends that I have, and they're like, well, you get taxed on your Social Security. And when so you're actually getting double taxed, and it says when you pull your Social Security out, you probably didn't think of that, or nobody's thinking that, but that counts as income. My grandmother, who's like 93 years old, she gets taxed on all of the checks that she gets from Social Security, even though she already basically kind of paid the taxes by putting Social Security from your paycheck that goes in, and then they tax you again as income when it comes out. So, say for example, your Social Security is you're getting $2,000 or $2,200 per a month, and that counts as your income. So you have to really think about who's really winning here. Level 5 game. Okay, if you really think about life, everything's kind of a game. And maybe you don't want to play the stock market game, and you decide to quit and go out. Well, you still have to go ahead and pay a different game. And that particular different game is, you have to play the game of working for somebody else, working for another company, and you start over all of them from scratch again. You're level 0, and from level 0 you have to work your way up. You have to associate yourself with other people. You have to play that game. You have to be like, build up your social ladder, climb that ladder, get a better paycheck. But when you get a better paycheck, you get into a higher tax bracket, then you get taxed more. All these different type of things. Or maybe you're making more money and you decide to increase the way you're living. You increase, this is, I'm going to have a nicer lifestyle. I'm going to decide, yeah, I'm going to live and be more frugal. I'm going to buy a nice car. Oh yeah, I see all my friends, like I'm talking to my wife, talking to my spouse, and she's going to work and she sees everybody in these nice, super nice cars. She's like, I want to buy a car. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can go buy that car. But if you spend all that money now, then, you know, we won't have money to eventually save up to buy a house or any of these other things. And, you know, it registers in your brain. Yeah, that's a smart thing to do. But, you know, peer pressure from other people, you're totally going to... Everybody wants the newest, best thing. The newest phone. The newest car. The nice house. The luxury watches. Or all these different type of things. Yes, you can get them now. Or you can decide to get them later and enjoy it. Or, you know, live your life to the fullest now. Yeah, sure. When you're young, absolutely you do these type of different things. But, you know, if you're not thinking about the future and where your money's going to be and how everything's going right now, you may just lose it all. And so that's just my 2 cents on it. You don't have to take my advice. But if you liked watching this, if you stayed here all the way to this point, super, super surprised, super happy, and thank you for being here with me. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and we will catch you all in the next video come Monday, or maybe even tomorrow, as I'm posting every single day. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and leave me a comment below. Go ahead and subscribe, and thank you for being here, and have a wonderful evening.